Welcome back to Up Front. Milwaukee's streetcar is on track to begin full-time operations this fall. City crews held a ceremonial welding of rails last week to mark near completion of the streetcar's first route. With rails now in place, city residents will be seeing more streetcar testing. The HOP, as it will be known, has been a controversial project, but Milwaukee's mayor, who has driven the streetcar project from the very start, hopes critics will be won over as they see it in action. And we are talking now with Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett. Mayor, it's good to have you back on the program.
It's always great to be here, Mike.
You're an optimistic guy. You think eventually you can win over the critics of this
I'm not going
project.
to win over all the critics, but what I want people to realize is that the streetcar is really part of a bigger vision. And I think what you're seeing right now being executed in the heart of the city is that vision, because we're in the midst of an economic renaissance unlike anything we've seen in our lifetime. And it began with NML and their buildings, BMO Harris, all the apartments and condos, the new arena, the streetcar. There is a lot of positive energy in Milwaukee right now. And what I hear countless times is people saying, oh, I haven't been to downtown Milwaukee for a while. Wow, is there a lot going on? And it's about economic development. And I think that's what people have to realize. This is all about this is part of economic development.
So it is more about economic development, at least at this stage, than even people moving. Would that be correct?
Well, yes, because obviously it's going to have to be extended to have that be successful. And we're already looking at north to the arena, ultimately to Bronzeville, south through Walker's Point. But I'm very, very pleased. It's on time. It's on budget. I think people have been surprised. I think they had in their mind a 1940s trolley, and you look at these sleek vehicles, and they're people movers. And I think that's what people have missed in this debate. But again, I'm not delusional. I realize there are always going to be people who like this and always people who dislike it. So I acknowledge it's controversial. I realize that.
Who will write it? The argument you hear is that this is just going to be some millennials, it'll be tourists, it won't be moving people back and forth between jobs. So who do you think will write it?
I think the more jobs we have in the heart of the city, the more it's going to be relevant to workers. I think that's a part of it. But it is going to be moving people around downtown. And again, I talk to a lot of people who say, well, I don't ever go downtown anymore. Well, if they don't go downtown anymore, then they aren't going to see all the economic activity that's occurring downtown. Whether it's restaurants, whether it's nightlife, whether it's plays, whether it's the Bucks, there's a lot of activity. I would bet in the last couple of days, just because the president was here, we had Brewers playing, we had a lot of activity. We have 1 million people coming into this city. So I want us to compete with other major American cities too, because if you look at other major American cities with similar density, the only two that don't have any type of fixed mass transit are Fresno, California, and Wichita, Kansas. And I want us to be competing with Minneapolis, with Denver, with Portland, not with Wichita and Fresno. So part of it's about growing, about positioning ourselves, but it's really about the future. It's about the growth of this city and betting on the growth of this city.
Federal dollars are helping support this for the first few years. And you also have Potawatomi giving a donation. It means people
We pulled a rabbit out of our hat on that
people
one, Mike.
will ride it for free.
I'm very thankful to the Potawatomi.
I'm sure you are. They'll ride it free for 1 year. But then the question is, who pays for it after that? Can we afford the operations, to continue operations?
I believe we will be able to. I honestly believe there will be revenue from advertising. I think we're going to have a lot more cars downtown also, because people will come, get off, and ride the streetcar back and forth. So I think there's going to be more parking revenue. We anticipate more parking revenue. But we are planning this in a way for the first 3 years. We believe we'll have the federal dollars that will cover 80% of the operating costs. And again, I want to thank the Potawatomi for their generosity, because they understand what a powerful economic tool this is to bring people to the city. That's what they want to do. They want to bring people to the city. And that's what part of this is going to do as well.
President Trump, probably not terribly predisposed to giving money for mass transit projects of this kind. Do you worry about being able to achieve some of what you've discussed here in the future, given the realities of politics today?
Well, I think all things must pass, and I don't know that President Trump is going to be there forever. I'm obviously hopeful that he and his administration will be supportive, because we're not the only city doing this. This is something that's happening throughout the nation, including some very Republican cities. There's some cities in Texas. Oklahoma City in Oklahoma has this. So this is not a Democratic Republican issue, that's for sure. So I think his administration hopefully will be open to it. I know Congress has been supportive of projects like this, and I'm hoping they'll continue to be.
I want to change subjects here and talk for a moment about the lead issue in Milwaukee. As you know, there have been a series of reviews, whether it's state or federal or even the interim health commissioner, who've been pretty critical of how the city of Milwaukee has handled its lead abatement process. How are you going to restore public confidence that you're doing the right thing, that kids' lives aren't being put in jeopardy?
Well, I want to go back to January, because January was a significant period. I was the one who stepped forward and said, look, we have a problem here. And I did it literally within days of discovering there was a problem. And I did that because anytime it has anything to do with lead, the test I apply is, if I'm telling my wife, I'm telling the public. So at every juncture, if there's been an issue with lead, I've talked to the public about that, because trust is so important. Are there problems? Yes, there are problems. Have they been solved? Not all of them, but do I think they will be? Absolutely yes. Absolutely
What's
yes.
the next step you take to solve those?
The next step is we are obviously working, as we said back in January, after this period when Dr. McManus is there, to have a health commissioner who will be there for a much longer period. When she applied for the job, or didn't apply for the job, when she accepted the job, and the expectation from the council and from my administration was that she would not be in there for an extended period of time. So what I want to do, going back to our first conversation, I want to get the train back on the track and move this forward. That's what I want to do, and that's what I'm very committed to doing.
Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett with us today to talk about the streetcar and other matters. Mayor, it's good to have you back on the program.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
Coming up next on Upfront, trade tensions. The growing list of Wisconsin agriculture products caught up in an escalating trade war, and concern about the impact on family farms.